Hey everyone, this is Tony, and as an introduction to this video, I felt the need to record a little introduction. Carey Anne Nadeau just spoke at Rice Leadership Summit. This speech was just a couple of days after a major layoff at Loop, and she did an absolutely fantastic job. I did talk to her after her session. I told her that I have the video. She gave me her permission to post it. So I am doing that. But first of all, I just wanted to make it clear that our hearts are with the people at Loop who recently got laid off, and with Carey Anne, and with Loop. I am a big believer in Carey Anne and in Loop's mission, and it was a truly incredible session, short speech that Carey Anne gave. Her heart is just visible. It was incredible to be there, and I'm so happy to have her permission to share this so that everybody who's not here can see it. Morning.
Good morning.
I agree. I also need another cup of coffee. Good morning, everyone. My name is Carey Anne Nadeau, and I thought I'd start today by saying I feel like fate brought me here to this room at this exact moment, at this exact time. And it also happens to be Juneteenth, which is a really important thing for me and for people I serve. So I'm Carey. I'm the founder of Loop. About 2 years ago, I was supposed to be here. This date has been on my calendar for 2 years. Last minute, last year, I had a conflict. My niece was graduating high school, the same high school I graduated from, and I had to back out last second and asked my co-founder and co-CEO, John Henry, to come take my place and take the stage instead of me last year. He said, quote, "It was the best speech I ever gave. I fucking nailed it. Good luck." Thanks, man. If anybody knows John Henry, he's a celebrity on social media and someone to follow in terms of business leadership and mindset in this era, and an incredible executive and CEO of the next modern insurance company alongside of me as co-CEO. What we're trying to build at Loop is an insurance company that challenges the paradigm of everything that has ever existed in insurance over the last 150 years. So we take on small tasks and easy problems, just as a philosophy. But essentially what Loop does is we went through and tried to figure out what wasn't working for the working class. There's 100 million working class Americans here in the United States that buy things like auto insurance. They don't have a home to insure, they don't have a boat, they don't have access to life insurance or other insurance products. All they buy is auto insurance. And what we recognized is that the cost for that specific customer was completely out of whack with the actual risk that they posed. That in insurance, the insurance policies that were used to insure bodies of people here in America that we celebrate on this holiday were still in the language, policies, the practices, the actuarial tables, they're still baked into that today. And so Loop's taking that directly head on. We're saying it's not okay. When it comes to disruption and innovation and challenging the paradigm, that we have to be incredibly bold, incredibly hardworking, face challenges that seem completely insurmountable. When my family came to this country from Canada, now 60 years ago, my grandfather had a third grade education. He couldn't write and he couldn't speak English. Hard problems are not something we shy away from. Impossible things, naysayers, people saying it's impossible to do such a hard thing. It just doesn't faze us. We're built different. So what we did is we went through, line by line, hundreds of pages of actuarial code and rate filings and forms and rules and processes, And we rebuilt the auto insurance product from the ground up. We got rid of things like credit score, occupation, education, and that we reverse engineered zip codes to get rid of redlining. It was a really, really hard thing to do, and everyone said, there's no way, there's always headlines, there's no way that you are going to get rid of credit score and be able to underwrite profitably. There's no way you're going to go to a non-standard community and not get totally obliterated by fraud. Well, it's been 5 years, I've been working really hard at this problem, and I'm here to tell you that despite the fact that 3 days ago I had to lay off over 30 people in my company, that we're not backing down from that problem. We can't let it die. We can't let it go away. And I thought it was really important to be here today, even though it's super hard for me to be up on this stage, to just receive the support of this community, who has always, whether you're on social media or not, had our backs in making sure that people are taken care of. That's why we do this work. I know, I feel it, and I appreciate that very much, that you guys are here to support us. But you know what? The gloves are off. You know, I've shed all sorts of things in the last week, ego being one of them. And so I thought I would talk about the things that we faced that made us get to this point that I feel like you guys should know and understand. Because if I'm Joan of Arc out front on a horse with a sword leading the charge for everyone here, if that sword falls, I'm going to need one of you to pick it up. So the first thing I want to talk about is how the insurance industry is operating as a monopoly. Now, it's a word that I made sure the Rise ladies were comfortable with me talking about here because it ruffles a lot of feathers. But like I said, what do I have to lose? When we look at the auto insurance industry, and many of you own cars, you're experiencing this self year over year. My mom's car insurance went up over $600 this year. She's a retiree. She lives with my father, who happens to be here today. Super proud. There in the back, filming it all. Proud dad. You're never not proud of your children, so I'm grateful that he's here. But they live just up the road in Melbourne, Florida, about 3 hours north of here. They retired after spending 37 years in my childhood home, just 10 minutes south of Hartford, Connecticut. And her car insurance went up like $300 last year. And I was like, did you get into a car accident? What happened? No, everybody's rates have been going up. And we know that, right? Like the whole industry is moving with rates together. It's really hard to identify a monopoly. Like there's whole federal agencies that exist, the Federal Trade Commission that tries to nail down and pinpoint like, this is a monopoly. So I'm not gonna pretend like I can be the one to make judgment and exactitudes here, but if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, let's talk about it, right? When you have a monopoly and prices are all moving together, where every option that you have, George Carlin has this great joke, he says, why do we only have 6 or 7 insurance companies, but we have 23 different types of bagels? Right? We have this illusion of choice, but when everybody's price moves together, the consumer doesn't really have an option. The industry is allowed to price fix. We're allowed to raise all of our rates together to ensure our profitability as carriers. And the consumer ends up paying a lot more money. It's price gouging. So when we talk about being in this room, talking about innovation, disruption, diversity and inclusion initiatives, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're up against a monopoly that has zero incentive to do any of those things. A profit-seeking organization is not aligned in the mission that you have and that we have at Loop. So what do we do about it? Like, how do we fight something that's such a behemoth, right? It's a David and Goliath story. I think one way we do that, and where I see change coming from is not from the insurance carriers, it's from the people within it. It's from the people in this room who understand that the way things are going right now, it's not great for consumers. What we're seeing is people go drive without insurance, which is not anything anyone in this room wants. It ultimately shoots us in the foot when our rates go up because many people are driving uninsured and getting into car crashes. This is a story we've seen before, but we're unwilling to confront, and we need to. Even though antitrust is a super boring topic and nobody cares, I'm spending 15 minutes on antitrust law because I need you to know that for a disruptor to come in from outside of this industry, to come in and try to challenge what is the paradigm, is that we have 6 or 7 companies that are setting prices, moving prices together, making it more expensive for consumers, eliminating choice. It's not good. Like, we need to fix that. And I'd like to think it's like bold people that will do it, but it's money, it's power, it's resources, and it's access. I'm a white woman. My co-founder and co-CEO is a black man. One of the hesitancies that we got in the market, we spent 20 months fundraising. We've raised over $30 million for this business so far. This is really freaking expensive to build your own policy administration system. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. You all told me, I was like, yay, I got it. Lesson learned. But there wasn't any capital available for us anymore. There are no more insurtechs coming to save us. What you have is what you have. Because the public markets dropped out. All the performance of Rude and Lemonade, investors look at that performance and they devalue the insurtechs that are in the market today. Capital isn't coming to insurtech, and it sure as heck isn't coming to people that look like me or my co-founder, generally. So where are we going to get the money? Where are we going to get the ability to grow, right? Like, we have our foot on the neck of the next generation of insurtechs because we're not giving them the support that they need. There's a lot of naysayers in the room. There's a lot of people that say it can't be done. It's impossible. It's really difficult. So my call to action for you today, before I step off the stage, which may be the last time, as the founder and co-CEO of Loop, is to do something about it. Take care of each other. Remember why we're in the room. Ask good questions. You're here today to figure out what your part is going to be in this story. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep trying my best to lead this transformation that needs to happen in insurance. To fight against the David and the Goliath and the monopoly. To fight against the naysayers who say you can't remove credit. To fight against a society that has forgotten about the working class. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being so welcoming to me, somebody who didn't come from insurance, somebody who's trying their best, doing so humbly. I really appreciate all of your support. Good luck.
Please welcome to the stage, Greg Stroud.